I'm delighted to say that we're joined in the studio now by the former Cardiff player and assistant manager, Sol Bamba, who joins us. Hello.
Morning.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good. Nice to see you smiling as well and ready for what will be, I suppose, an interesting season for you, because at this moment in time you're not involved in football. Has that ever happened to you before?
No, not as long as I can remember, but it's good. It's a good break. You enjoy with the family, taking time for myself, and it's been good, but hopefully it won't last too long because I'm football crazy. I want to go back in.
Yeah, and the last position that you held was as the assistant manager at Cardiff last month when Sabli Lamucci was replaced by Errol Bullitt as the club's manager. You went for that job as well, and at one stage you seemed to be close to be getting it. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of confusion in there, and to be fair, to be completely honest with you guys, and the club's been brilliant. I spoke directly to Mehmet Dalmat, the chairman. I don't know if you can recall when the statement came out about Sabri leaving, my name wasn't mentioned, and it wasn't reason for that. So we talked. He wasn't meant to be, unfortunately, but I wish the best to the new manager.
They've been quite busy, Cardiff, in the transfer window already, but obviously the most headline-grabbing signing is the return of Aaron Ramsey. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Because obviously he's not played a lot of football in the last couple of years. The Championship is an unforgiving league, and it's a big leap of faith from Ramsey himself to turn down more lucrative offers from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I think it's credit to himself to come back home. Obviously, it's home for him, his family living there. It's a massive coup for the club, quickly, let's be honest, and I think obviously the jury is out. We have to wait and see because we all know he's injury prone, but it's a massive coup for the club. It's good for him. And I think last season he played 27 games. I think this is half a championship season. So if he can at least do that, I think Cardiff would be happy with it, but they definitely have to manage him. And he's a top player. He had an unbelievable career. So for the Cardiff fan, I'm living there. So trust me, the city's buzzing the last couple of days, and it's a good coup, but obviously we have to wait and see if he can deliver, because like you said, the championship is unforgiven.
Yeah,
sure.
A couple of good players that you've got there down at Cardiff, or had there down at Cardiff. Ruben Colwell is one of those. It was your first coaching role when you stepped in January. You helped save them, keep them in the Championship, which was incredibly important for the club. But what was it like, the squad, and taking over from Steve Morrison as part of the management team? It was a difficult time for the club.
Yeah, it was, and I think obviously when you walk into a new job, especially in January when we walk in, it is because it's problem. It's always been a good team. I think, to be completely honest with you, I said that to the club and to everyone. I think Steve Morrison deserved a bit more time. Unfortunately, he didn't have it. He had like 19 new players, so the turnaround of player was massive, so he needed a bit more time. We walked in, I think the confidence was low. We all know that, and it's a business result. You need to win games to have confidence. So that's all we try to do with Sabri, try to bring the confidence back, and you win a couple of games and that's it. But you mentioned a couple good young players that got there in Caldwell and other very, very good players, and they were all low on confidence, and I think that was the key, and we managed to do that.
Someone who's never low on confidence is Neil Warnock, your former manager. Did an incredible job keeping Huddersfield in the division. He said that he only really takes jobs from February or March, but he's obviously gone back on that. He's taken it on a permanent basis. Have you spoken to him? How enthused is he about the new season?
Yeah, he's buzzing. I actually just talked to him on the train just now when I was coming in. So, we in regular contact with him. He's looking forward to it. I think he did mention he could be difficult because he liked to work 3 months a year now, but he's buzzing. He's excited. He's looking forward to it. He's looking at player everywhere and try to bring as much as he can. And I'm looking forward to watch it. And listen, there's no surprise with Neil Warnock. I'm sure this is going to be fine, and potentially, you never know, could make the top 6.
Now, what about you? What are you going to do next? Because you've been an assistant manager, you've gone for a job as a head coach. What is the next step?
No, to be fair, Sam, I don't think it was a big gamble to go as a manager or as a head coach straight away. I don't pretend because I played the game for nearly 20 years, I know everything, so I want to learn my trade. I think my first job as assistant manager was perfect, and with Sabri I work under him and we speak French together, so it was perfect to ease my out. But I do think carry on maybe as assistant or as a coach somewhere would be good to learn and one day eventually become a manager.
Is anything in the pipeline? Have you got any offers to go in and be a number 2 anywhere?
No, nothing at the minute. Obviously, Sabri still want to continue with me, so we're looking into that. He had a few interest, but nothing concrete yet, and he's still waiting. Obviously, if he found a job, I'm probably going to jump with him.
Is it true that he decided not to take up the role at Cardiff City?
Yeah, it's been talked. They had talk. I know he met the owner here in London, and they had a chat about it. And I think he wasn't convinced, and to be honest, the owner wasn't convinced either. So I think they decide to go separate ways.
Is he tricky to work for, Vincent Tan?
Well, to be fair, as a player, he's not, because I don't go involved with him. We just play the game. But I'm on the other side now, and obviously he had a few phone calls with the manager, tell him what to do or how he want the team to play and what player he want to get involved. So it's not as straightforward as people think, but he's a very good owner, I have to say.
Is that why Sabri Lamouchi didn't want to take it up?
No, I don't think it's just that. I think
he was being told what to do by the chairman.
No, he's a bit of a mix of everything. I think for some reason, I think for both parties, I think it was best to for them to go separate ways.
It's interesting, isn't it? You look at the direction of travel at football clubs, more and more the sort of role of a sporting director in this country is becoming as significant as it always was in Europe. Do you see the role as a manager now more of a sort of head coach and working on the training ground, and somebody else signs the players? Is that the way it's going?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what missing at Cardiff, to be honest, with you, Cooksey. I think it's been missing a sport director for many years. I I understand why the owner don't want to do that, because he got burned before, when Marky Mackay was there, and he still remember that. And when you talk about sport director at Cardiff, he's not happy about it. So I think most of club got it, and I think he made the work of the manager easy, because, like you said, he can concentrate on the football, and I think that's the way football's going now. So every club in Europe got sporting directors. So I think Cardiff should do that, in my opinion, and I think that's the way football goes now.
We've had quite a few text messages that have come in support of you. When Sol is on the show, can you please tell him how much he is loved by the Cardiff fans? He's a legend of the club. He should never have been allowed to leave, especially after what he went through with his illness. He proved that he could still be a valuable player with his performances for Middlesbrough. I'm sure I'm speaking for all City fans in that we hope to see him back at the club in some capacity, back where he belongs. Good luck, Sol. Forever a Bluebird. That's from Tony, who's a Cardiff City supporter. One of the big stories today is about Harry Maguire, and you would have heard us talk about that a little bit earlier on. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt as if the club are indicating to you that it's time to move on?
Yeah, absolutely. I left Leeds in exactly similar circumstances. I'd done the pre-season with Gary Monk as a manager. Everything went well. I was the captain of the club, and I think it was actually the day before the transfer window shut, Gary Monk said to me he's changed his plan, he's going to bring other players, and obviously me being captain, I need to move on. So I think it's a difficult circumstances, because I decided to leave Scotland because I wanted to play football. And, Harry Maguire, I know he's not the captain anymore, but when you play for a massive club like United, there's so many games and they're back in the Champions League. I'm sure at some point he thinks he's going to have his chance and he can probably prove like he deserves to play. So it's not as straightforward that people say just move and go and play and you just want to stay for the money. It go deeper than that. So me being in that situation, I understand he's probably got a law on his head at the minute and he's just going to sit down with agent and family and make a decision then.
Would he not be a little bit embarrassed though about being stripped of the captaincy?
He'd be upset, and I think he did mention it. He said like that hurt him. He will hurt anybody, captain of a massive club like that. When the manager said you're not going to be captain anymore, he's definitely going to hurt you. But he proved that all his career, the way he went through his career and ended up at Man United, he's resilient. He's going to come back from that. I've got no problem. I've got no doubt with it. But I think he's a good player. I think he's low and confident. He's good for England. I know you guys always have a debate like he never let England down, but Man United fan are not happy with him. But I think he's a very good player. He proved it. I think the price tag of 80 million is a big price tag, but it's not his fault. So and when you play for Man United, you're always going to be in scrutiny and all that. So, I feel sorry for him at times, but he's a top player.
Has he ever come for you, this one?
No, he never. To be fair, Cooks is good at goals for me. He's always been
what
good.
He's like. He's a nightmare.
It's nice to have a bit of uplifting debate rather than you just trying to have pot shots at me.